us, they're returning us to the Sufism of Ibn Arabi. So there's a big deal of relationship between those Shia philosophers, such as Khomeini, Sadr al-Muta'allihin al-Shirazi, they call him Mullah Sadra, and Al-Faid al-Kashan, many, and I have a link here with me, I brought it with me in case anyone would like to take the link and make sure about what I say. The Shia in the website, they admitted that there are many Shia who follow Ibn Arabi and love him and explained his books. So we can see a bridge between the Shia and the Sufis. The Sufis call Ibn Arabi al-Shaykh al-Akbar, and also the Shia call him al-Shaykh al-Akbar. They agree with them on that. They always, whenever they talk about the Shia, whenever they talk about Ibn Arabi, they call him al-Shaykh al-Akbar. Did you realize a common term, a bridge between Shiism and Sufism now? Let's go more. There is a book called As-Silatu Bayna al-Tasawwuf wa al-Tashayyu'. Mustafa Kamil al-Shaybi, he wrote this book. That means the link, the relationship between Sufism and Shiism. Excuse me. It's a big book, big volume. And he proved, and he was a Shia himself. And he proved everything about the relationship, the great relationship between Shiism and Sufism. Let's go now quickly to the examples. Before that, let me say something, and remember this word. The Shia delude the Sufis as the Jews delude Christianity. And Sufism is a seed that the Jews rooted in a Persian land. What do you call those Majus? Magians. You know the Magians? Magians. They're called Magians. Sufism is a seed that the Jews cultivated in a Magian land. Maybe you did not get my point now. Think about it and you understand what I mean. Now, what is there a need for Sufism? Yes. There's a great need for them, not for us, astaghfirullah. I'm afraid that someone will be making a pick and choose, and take this and say, yeah, he said yes, that's all. I'll repeat the question. Is there any need for Sufism? For the Ash'aris, for the Rafida? Yes, they need it desperately. Why? Because their ta'weel of the sifat caused their hearts to become cruel and hard, just like the Jews. So they need something to soften their hearts. So they try. Now Sufism is also, look, not Ilm al-Kalam is important, but also Sufism is important. Ilm al-Kalam causes your mind to become junky. And Sufism make your heart as well junky. Both. So what do? They have to do some things, then they feel dizzy, because if you do that many times, I feel dizzy. So when they do things like this, I feel dizzy, as if I'm going up to the throne of Allah. Why do they say that? One friend of mine, he used to be Sufi, and he said, I used to be holding hands with, making halaqah, and dancing and jumping, and the one beside me, he was saying to me, did you feel that you're up? Did you feel it? You're up? He said, no, Allah, I'm still down in the saloon. I don't feel anything. So it's easy. You just make your head like this many times, or go around yourself as you see. They go like that, and they call them darvish. They keep rolling around themselves like this. And the Westerners like it. Wow, that looks classical. Wow, that's classic. They like it, from that angle. Wow, that looks classical. And they love Jalaluddin al-Rumi, and Ibn Arabi, and Ghazali. Ghazali who said, Jannah? It's for boys. We don't want it. We despise it. Jannah is for boys. Those who are just like animals. They are concerned about how to enjoy themselves eating and playing sex, that's all. It's for stupid people. That's what he said in his book Ihya Ulumuddin. He was affected by the Batinis, by the Shia, by the philosophers. His mind was junky. And I have all evidences. In fact, you will see next week or the week after, inshallah, a whole clip about Abu Hamid al-Ghazali in his book Ihya Ulumuddin. You'll be surprised and shocked. So the Westerners, they make some festivals and Eid for these misleaders who used to be misleading the Muslims before, in order to delude the Muslim every year, the Muslims, by those people. Not only that, but they publish their books. So they need something to soften their hearts because of ilm al-kalam, because this ilm al-kalam, it causes your heart to become cruel and hard. In some other books of ilm al-kalam, you may pass by 20 pages, 30 pages, and you never see قال Allah, قال Rasulullah. Nothing. The other common thing between Shi'ism and Sufism is the matter of wahdatul wujud. What's the meaning of wahdatul wujud?
Unity of existence.
Not coexistence, no. The unity of existence. Allah and His creatures are one. And Ibn Arabi was the one who emphasized it too much. And those who say they claim the unity of the existence, they must believe that the world is eternal. And Ibn Arabi used to believe that the world is eternal. And Al-Alim, the big scholar, Al-Aziz bin Abd Salam, yet he is Ash'ari, we disagree with him on his Ash'ari, but he was a good scholar in other things. He was asked about Ibn Arabi, he said, Shaykh Su', an evil Shaykh. يقول بقدم العالم. He believes that the world is eternal. ولا يحرم فرجا. Farj means, private part of a woman. He doesn't believe that any kind of private part of a woman is haram. All are halal. Sister, daughter, all are the same. And that's what Al-Aziz bin Abd Salam, when he was asked by, not Badr al-Aini, Ibn Daqiq al-Aid. Ibn Daqiq al-Aid is also Ash'ari. Both are Ash'aris. But when he was asked about this one, Ibn Arabi said, he said, Shaykh Su' يقول بقدم العالم ولا يحرم فرجا. That's what he said. That's Ibn Arabi. That's Ibn Arabi. So, the belief of the united existence is a common belief between those Sufis and between the Shia. I wonder, there's a so-called scholar, Ash'ari scholar, his name is Al-Ghummari. Have you heard of him? Al-Ghummari, from Morocco. He needed a paper of recommendation from the worst Shia Sheikh, who wrote a book called Al-Muraja'at, filled it with doubts against the Sunnah, and against Abu Bakr, and against Umar, and against all the companions. Filled it with doubts. And he needed a paper of recommendation. Yet he was the worst enemy to the Salafi scholars. But he went to take a word of recommendation from that Shia. There is a courtesy between Shi'ism and Sufism. But we don't see that between them and us. Why? I wonder who we are. Are we innovating? Are we adding things to what the Prophet ﷺ said? We wish, wallahi, we're confining our religious life on the method and the way of the Prophet and his companions. Why we are worse to them? Why we are worse than the Shia to them? That's not fair. The common thing between Shia and Sufism also is the fabricated hadith. Ooh, mashallah. They always have fabricated hadith. Most of what they believe is based on authentic hadith. Yet, the Shia claim that the Imams have the source of the knowledge. It is naturally inside them. They don't need to take it from the Prophet. But the Sufis, they say, our hearts, when you purify the heart becomes like a mirror. It will be reflecting all the data that is contained in the sacred tablet. So it will be seeing everything, the future, as Ghazali said. Ghazali said the beginning of the Sufi way is to know what's in the future and to know the unseen. And the Shia believe that their Imams know the unseen and nothing is hidden from their knowledge. Exaggerating in the Ahlul Bayt is a common term between Shia and Sufis. The Sufis, they go to the graves of Ahlul Bayt and they glorify it in the same way of the Shia. The Shia say, Ya Zainab, Ya bint Rasulullah, Ya Hussein. And the Sufis, if you see them in Cairo as well, at the mosque of Hussein, mashallah, you see Shia and Sufis. And they're making tawaf around the grave. Once I was talking about, Allah said, وَلْيَطَّوَّفُوا in Surah Al-Hajj. Anyone remember that verse? وَلْيَطَّوَّفُوا بِالْبَيْتِ الْعَتِيقِ. What's the meaning of that? Make tawaf around the ancient house. But the Shia are doing something else. As if Allah said, وَلْيَطَّوَّفُوا بِالْقَبْرِ الْعَتِيقِ. They're making tawaf around the graves. Allah said, let them make tawaf around the house. But what the Shia do, and the Sufis, they make tawaf around the graves. Is that allowed? So, matter of tawassul, the same. Among the common terms, or what they call it, al-zahir and al-batin. Okay? There is external interpretation to the verse, but there is internal interpretation, inside. As Al-Ghazali said, the ilm is of two types. Ilm al-zahir is just like the skin. When you eat the banana, do you eat the skin with it? No, you throw the skin. So he called ilm al-sharia the skin, and ilm al-batin is the heart. It's the knowledge of the heart. But the ilm al-zahir, the sharia, is the skin, can be thrown. And the Shia have the same thing. The Batinis claim that ilm is of two types. Ilm al-zahir, that is to be taken from the Sunnah, Bukhari, etc. But ilm al-batin, no. حدثني قلبي عن ربي. My heart narrated from my Lord. Ibn Arabi says, you say that hadith of Rasulullah, who narrated it? So and so. From who? From so and so. From who? Where is he? Dead. And he took it from another one. Yes. Who is he? Where is he? He's dead. From another one. Where is he? Dead. You take your religion from dead people, but we take our religion from the one who never died. No. You have taken your religion from the one who said to Allah, let me alive until the day of resurrection. Who's that? Iblis. Anzirni ila yawmi yub'athun. You're taking your religion from him, not from Allah. If Musa is alive today, he should be following the book of Allah and the Sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's why Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, a great man, he said, if Al-Khadr is alive, he must confine himself to the book of Allah and the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He should be a follower. That is why Al-Khadr is Nabi. And this is one of the common things between Sufism and Shi'ism.